Hi guys, you're welcome back again to my channel. If you are new to my channel, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for sticking to my channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew this beautiful gown that you are seeing on the screen. If you're interested in learning how I made this gown, please don't skip any part and also watch to the end so that you won't miss any important information. At the end of this video, if you found my tutorial helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed, and also like and share my video. Okay, I have this beautiful Ankara print that I'll be using for this project. I have 2 yards for this one that I'll be using as the main base and 2.5 yards for this one. I won't be using lining on this gown, so if you wish to use lining, that's totally up to you. So I will start by folding my 2 yards into 2. This is 2 yards here, so I will fold the 2 yards that I have here into 2 equal parts. Arrange it very well by making sure that it's equal. After arranging it, I will fold it diagonally like a triangle. So I'll be cutting front and back together, so you fold it the way you see me doing. This one will be for the front part and the one under will be for the back part. So the first measurement I will be marking is my shoulder width. So you divide by shoulder by 2. I have 8 inches for my shoulder. I will mark it here. You mark it. After marking my 8 inches, I will make a straight line as my shoulder head. The next thing is to mark my chest line depth. To get your chest line depth, you divide your round bust by 6. You add extra 2 inches. So for mine, I have 9 inches as my chest line depth. So I will mark it here the way you see me doing. After marking it, I will make a straight line from my shoulder to the chest line. Make sure that the line is straight. After marking my straight line, I will be marking the neck width. I use the neck width of 3.5 inches for the front neck width and the back neck width, and for the neck depth I use 1 inch for the back. I will curve it the way you see me doing. For the front neck depth, I use 3.5 inches. If you are a slim person, you can use 3 by 3. That's 3 for the width and 3 for the depth. After marking the front neck depth, I will curve my U neckline. So the next thing is to mark the back shoulder slant. I took ½ inch for the back shoulder slant it to the neck width, and for the front shoulder slant I mark 1 inch. I also slant it to the neck width the way you see me doing. So when I'm cutting it, you will understand what I did. So I will divide my chest line by 2. I want to curve my armhole, so for the back I came in by ½ inch. I will slant it this way, as we all know that the front armhole is deeper than the back armhole. That's why I came in by ½ inch for the back armhole. For the front, I'll be coming in by 1 inch. We'll get to that very soon. First of all, I will mark quarter of my round bust. So you divide your round bust by 4. I will be adding extra 1.5 inches, ½ inch for sewing allowance and 1 inch for ease. So I will connect it the way you see me doing. So at the middle of the chest line, I will be coming in by 1 inch. So from here I will come in by 1 inch to curve my armhole. Your front armhole is supposed to be deeper than the back armhole. If you are an advanced designer, you should know that. So when I'm cutting it out, you will see how I will cut it. The next thing is to mark my half length. So from the shoulder point, I will come down by 17.5, which is my half length. So after getting my half length, I will divide my round waist by 4. I will add 2 inches for my allowances, 1.5 inches for each allowance and ½ inch for sewing allowance. That is 2 inches in total. I added only 1 inch on the chest line because I don't want it to be too free on the chest area. Please take note of that. I will connect it from the chest line to the waistline. Can you see the way I shaped it? You follow the markings. After that, the next thing is to determine the length I want for this first step. So from the shoulder line, I came down by 26 inches, which is from my shoulder to my hip line measurement. I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. From my waistline, I flay it out this way. Can you see what I did? Make sure you confirm the length of your gown on this center part. I will make a straight line on my gown length. Please, if you find my tutorial interesting and helpful, do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed. Also like and share my video. Alright, so the next thing I'll be doing now is to confirm what I have on my hip line. My hip measurement is 46, so if you divide it by 4, I'll be having around 12 inches. So I have extra 5 inches on my hip. So you divide your hip by 4, then you add extra 5 or 6 inches to flay it out. So this is what I have when I was done. I'll go ahead now and cut it out. If you have any question, please do not forget to drop your question on the comment box. So I will start by cutting out the back neckline. I will cut the back shoulder slant. After cutting the length and the side, I will cut the back armhole. Just follow what I'm doing, you get it right. So after cutting the back armhole, I will separate the front and back. I'll just remove the back part. This is my back part. Can you see what I have? So I'll set it aside now and continue with the front. So if you check the picture on the thumbnail, you see that the front neckline have a keyhole. So to do that, I will curve it this way. Just fix your eyes on the screen, you understand what I'm doing. I'll first of all measure the length of the keyhole, which I use 4 inches, and from the neck width I'll curve it this way. Just follow the direction of my hand. Can you see? I measured what I have here. I have ½ inch. If you want the hole to be too wide, you can do 0.75. So I'll go ahead now and cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll cut the front armhole and the front shoulder slant. I will now spread it out for you to see what I have. This is what I have when I was done. Can you see? So the next thing now is to cut the yoke design on the front neckline. So I have this piece of fabric that I cut out. I will put it on fold. After putting it on fold, I will measure the width that I have here. I have the width of 8 inches and the length is 13 inches. So I will place the front part on it the way you see me doing. Make sure you arrange it properly. After arranging it very well, you use your pin to hold it down. After securing it with a pin, you go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, I will unpin it. The next thing now is to trim the yoke. So I will mark the width of 3 inches. That's how wide I want the yoke to be on the shoulder. So from there now, I will curve it the way you see me doing. So on this down part, I will measure what I have. Okay, I want to use the width of 3 inches. You mark your 3 inches, or you can make it 2.5. So I will connect it the way you see me doing. I'll cut it out. So I will place it on the main dress now for you to see what I have. So this yoke will also serve as my facing. So I'll be using it to turn the neckline. I will go ahead and cut the back facing, cut a piece of fabric, fold it into 2 and trim your neckline. After trimming the neckline, you trim the facing. This is my back facing. So I will go ahead and iron my hat gumstay on it. You iron your hat gumstay on both the front and back. After that, I will start by sewing the yoke on the front. But before I sew the facing, I will iron a piece of gumstay on the front part. Ironing the hat gumstay on the front part will make the neckline to stay in place. so that when you're sewing it, it will be very easy for you. So I will trim off the excess. After trimming it off, I will also iron another one on it. I'll be doing that later. Let me just show you how you can sew it. So you place it on the wrong side of the fabric. You place it on the wrong side because after sewing it, you turn it to the right side. So I'll pin it down. After pinning it down, I'll sew with 1/2 inch this way. So I'll mark it now. I'll do the same thing on the back part. I'll sew it and come back and show you. This is my back. I'm gonna to sew it. I also fold the down. I will notch it round and I will turn it to the wrong side. I will arrange it very well. After that, I'll give it a good ironing. Please note that when I was sewing the front facing, I place it on the wrong side and I will turn it to the right side. For the back, I place it on the right side and after sewing, I will turn it to the wrong side. So after notching on the front neckline, I will turn it to the right side. Make sure you push it out. Arrange it very well. After that, I will iron it. Make sure you give it a good ironing. After ironing it very well, I will place my hemming gum under the yoke. This is my hemming gum. I'll just cut it and put it inside and iron it very well so that it can stick together. I will iron it off camera. I'll also do the same thing on the back facing. I'll do it and come back and show you the next thing that you will do. So I have this velvet bias that I'll be using to design it. The width is 1/2 inch and I bought 2.5 yards for the gown. So after ironing my hemming gum, I will place my velvet bias on it to seal up the rough edge. You place it the way you see me doing. Use your pin to hold it. After pinning it, you stitch on the both side of the bias. If you get to this end, you cut it out. I will just assume that I've sewn it already. I want to show you how you can achieve a neat finishing. So I will fold like 1/2 inch. I'll place it on top of this one that I've already sewn and I'll stitch on the both sides. If I get to this corner, I'll also cut it out. I'll fold it, place it on top of it and you sew. I'm done sewing it. I will repeat the same thing on this side. You see how I folded it, you place it on top and sew. This is what I had when I was done sewing the bias, and I have my back part here. I've also ironed it very well. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to join the front and back together. I will match the front and back shoulder together. I'll use the back facing to close the shoulder. I will sew with 1/2 inch. After sewing it, I'll repeat the same thing on the other shoulder. I'll sew the two sides with 1/2 inch. I won't close everything. I will stop here. As the video progresses, you understand the reason why I did not close everything. I will also close this side with 1/2 inch. I left this part open. So this is when I was done sewing it. Can you see the shoulder? I sewed the two sides with 1/2 inch. This is the part that I left open. I left this part open because that's where I will follow to attach my ruffle. I've turned it to the right side. I want to determine the length of my gown. So I have 26.5 here after sewing it. So I'll be using the total length of 39 for my gown length. So if I minus 26 from 29, I'll be having 13 inches. So I will measure the round flare because that's what I will be using to cut out the lower part. So I have 63 inches in total. So this is the one I'll be using for my ruffle. I have 2.5 yards there as I mentioned earlier. So the 2.5 inches, I will be folding it into 2 equal parts. After folding it into 2, I will fold it like a triangle. So I use half circle flare for my ruffle. So that's how to fold half circle flare. When I measure the lower part of my gown, I got 63 inches. So this 63 inches, I'll be adding extra 5 inches to it. If you want your ruffle to be fuller, you can add about 7 inches. After adding it, I will divide it by 3.14. That's the radius for half circle flare. So if I divide it, I have about 21 inches. Then I will keep my tape at the apex of the flare and I will go around with 21 inches. So after marking my 21 inches, I will confirm what I have here, whether it will be enough for my gathers. Should be having about 25 inches here, but it's not up to 25 inches. I will be coming down by 1 inch. It's better you have excess fabric than shortage of fabric. So I will connect the 1 inch round the way you see me doing. After that, I will mark the length of my ruffle, which is 13 inches. I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. How I got the length is that I minus 26 inches from 39 inches, which is my gown length. So I'll go round the way you see me doing. After connecting it, I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it, I will unfold it. This is what I have. So I'll go to my sewing machine now and make a tiny pleating. If you like, you can pull your gathers. For me, I'll be pleating it. So I'll go to my sewing machine and pleat it, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, this is what I have when I was done pleating it. I didn't make my pleating to be so full, so I made a scanty pleat. So before I attach it to my gown, I will confirm what I have, whether it's up to 63 inches. So I have exact 63 inches. If it's more than, you can pleat it more. So I will follow where I left open to attach it. If you remember, I left one side open, so I will follow there and attach it. You use your pin to hold it and you sew with 1/2 inch. I will sew it and come back and show you. This is what I have when I was done sewing it. So I'll go to my weaving machine and weave it round. Before you attach your velvet bias, make sure you weave it round. So I've weaved my dress. Can you see? So the next thing I'll be doing now is to turn it to the right side so that I can attach my velvet bias. I'm also gonna have to fold the hem of the dress. So after turning it to the right side, I will place my bias this way, and I will stitch on the both side. Just use your pin to hold it and you sew. This is the outcome of it when I was done sewing it. Can you see the neat finishing? I will close the side that I left open. After closing it, I'll measure my armhole. I'm gonna have to cut my sleeve. If you don't know how to cut a basic sleeve, I have a tutorial on how to do that. So I'll iron it. I want to get the middle of the sleeve. So I added 1 inch for ease allowance when I was inserting my round sleeve. So the length of the sleeve is 15 inches. From the hem of the sleeve, I'll come up by 4 inches. I will mark it. So I'll be slashing it open. I will stop at that 4 inches I marked. So after slashing it open, I will fold it in with 1/2 inch. Fold it round. If you can't fold it, you can use your bias and pipe it round. You place your bias at the right side. After sewing it, you turn it to the wrong side and a top stitch on it. So this is what I have when I was done folding it. I will iron it down. So I cut out a long stripe of fabric. I have 1.5 inches on fold. So I will slash it open. I want to use it to pipe the hem of the sleeve. So I will measure what I have. I have about 14 inches for one. So what I will be doing now is I'll fold it into 2 and I will close it here. Before I sew the side, I will measure what I have on my sleeve, one part of the sleeve. I have 6 inches, so I will measure the 6 inches from here. I will mark the 6 inches. So I will close the side and I will stop at that 6 inches. After sewing it, this is what you will have. I'll turn it to the right side. I'll use my machine screwdriver to push it to the right side. After that, I will iron it very well. So this half inch that I used to sew it, I will fold it in and I will give it a good press. I will iron the half inch down. Just follow what I'm doing, you get it right. This is what I have when I was done ironing it. So I will put the sleeve inside with half inch. Just arrange it inside. Use your pin to hold it. After pinning it down, you top stitch on it. I will top stitch at the edge like this. After that, I will repeat the same thing on this side. So I will do it, I'll come back and show you. This is what I had when I was done sewing it. I've also done the same thing for the other sleeve. I will close my sleeve with half inch. After that, I will now attach my sleeve on my dress. This is what I had when I was done. Please, if you find my tutorial helpful, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you have any question, please drop your question on the comment box. All right, thanks for watching.